Hi and welcome back. What we've got today is, as you can see, past continuous tense. Are you ready? Here we go. Before I start explaining it, I think it is important to have a reminder of this. For example, you remember that we are talking about past continuous tense. So I was. You were. They were. We were. People were. She was. He was. It was. Ali was. You remember, Ali is a name of a male, so Ali was. Mary was a name of a female. Someone was. None of you was. Or you hear, none of you were. Either of you was, or you hear, either of you were. Neither of you was, or you hear, neither of you were. The audience was, or you hear, the audience were. It is not difficult. The crowd was, or you hear, the crowd were. It is not difficult, right? Let's move on. You remember, none of you was, or none of you were. So you hear none of you was, or none of you were. Either of you was, either of you were. Neither of you was, neither of you were. The audience was, the audience were. The crowd was, the crowd were. Good. So our first example is I was sleeping. So you see, this is an example of the past continuous tense. But if it was I am sleeping, we'd say this is an example of the present continuous tense. So do not get confused. Good. I wasn't sleeping. Negative. You were sleeping. You weren't sleeping, which means you were not sleeping. They were sleeping. The negative. They weren't sleeping, which means they were not sleeping. We were sleeping. We weren't sleeping, which means we were not sleeping. People were sleeping. People weren't sleeping, which means people were not sleeping. She was sleeping. She wasn't sleeping. She was not sleeping. He was sleeping. He wasn't sleeping. He was not sleeping. He was sleeping. He wasn't sleeping. Ali was sleeping. Ali wasn't sleeping. Ali was not sleeping. Mary was sleeping. Mary wasn't sleeping. Good. So here, was I sleeping? This is a question. Were you sleeping? Were they sleeping? Were we sleeping? Were people sleeping? Was she sleeping? Was he sleeping? Was he sleeping? Was Ali sleeping? Was Mary sleeping? Good. Now, let's move on so that I explain what the past continuous tense is. Good. So you see, what is the past continuous tense? That is the question. Past continuous tense or past progressive tense. We say that the past continuous tense is used to describe an ongoing activity in the past. In the past. In the past. So this is not to do with the present. It's not something that is happening now. Do not forget that. Let's have some examples. You see, James was driving through town. It was raining. The wind was blowing hard. Nobody was walking in the streets. Suddenly, James saw the killer in a telephone box. So, you see, was driving, was raining, was blowing, was walking. That is what you should remember. You know, this is not James is driving. It is raining. The wind is blowing hard. Nobody is walking. You should be able to remember the difference between them. Let's have more examples. Now look at our first example. When the car exploded, I was walking past it. While I was walking past the car, it exploded. What were you doing yesterday when I called you? What were you eating when I entered your room? What was she doing last night? What was she cooking when I came to the house? Was I sleeping when you took my phone? Was your dog barking when he saw the thief? We met our father as we were going home. I heard your voice as I was walking. So you should be able to remember examples that are like this. But do not say when the car exploded, I am walking past it. Do not have this type of a combination. While I am walking past the car, it exploded. What are you doing yesterday when I called you? Do not say that. What are you eating when I entered your room? Do not say that. What is she doing last night? No. What is she cooking when I came to the house? No. Am I sleeping when you took my phone? No. Is your dog barking when he saw the thief? No. We met our father as we were going home. No. I hear your voice as I was walking. Do not say that. You remember to have a combination like when the car exploded, I was walking past it. While I was walking past the car, it exploded. What were you doing yesterday? Not what are you doing yesterday? What were you doing yesterday when I called you? What you say, what were you eating when I entered your room? When I entered your room. Not what are you eating when I entered your room. You say, what was she doing last night? Not what is she doing last night? Do not say, what is she cooking when I came to the house? It should be, what was she cooking when I came to the house? Was I sleeping? Was I sleeping when you took my phone? Not, am I sleeping when you took my phone? Was your dog barking when he saw the thief? Not, is your dog barking when he saw the thief? We say, we met our father as we are going home. Not, we meet our father as we were going home. I heard your voice as I was walking. Not I hear your voice as I was walking. I hope it is not difficult. So let's move on. So you see, here is about actions happening at the same time. Talking about what? Past. That is not present. For example, while I was sleeping, the children were playing. I was sleeping, the children were playing. So you see, the actions were happening at the same time. While he was reading, I was resting. While he was reading, I was resting. You were drawing while I was writing. You were drawing while I was writing. She was running while I was jogging. She was running while I was jogging. The audience were clapping while we were speaking. You remember the word audience. So you hear were or was. So the audience was clapping while we were speaking. You see that the actions here, we've got actions happening at the same time. But you remember, not talking about the present, but what? The past. So let's move on. But you remember that you should not have or say, while I was sleeping, the children are playing. Was sleeping, are playing. It should not be like that. While he was reading, I am resting. No. You are drawing while I am writing. No. She was running while I am jogging. No. The audience were clapping while we are speaking. No. the audience was clapping while we are speaking. No, you remember, while I was sleeping, the children were playing. While he was reading, I was resting. You were drawing while I was writing. She was running while I was jogging. The audience were clapping while we were speaking. The audience was clapping while we were speaking. So do not forget this. If you find it difficult to understand, you can try to watch the first 5 minutes. When you understand the examples of the first 5 minutes, then you move on. But I do not think that it is difficult to understand. Good, let's move on. But have a look at this. You see, this combination is okay. The children are sweeping while their parents are cooking. Are sweeping while their parents are cooking. It is okay. You're resting while I am working, which means you are resting. You are resting while I am working. The audience are clapping while we are speaking. It's okay, it is correct. While I'm listening to the news, I'm also having lunch. I am listening to the news. I'm also having lunch. So while I'm listening to the news, I'm also having lunch. While the teacher is speaking, some students are sleeping. The boy is playing while the girl is doing the dishes. So you see, this type of a combination is correct. What you remember is to not have the combination that you have was, and then you have is. I mean, like the previous examples that we had. So the children are sweeping while their parents are cooking. You're resting while I'm working. The audience are clapping while we are speaking. While I am listening to the news, I'm also having lunch. While the teacher is speaking, some students are sleeping. The boy is playing while the girl is doing the dishes. Good. But have a look at this. I was wondering if you might buy me a car. I was wondering if you might buy me a car. It is possible that someday you are going to hear an example that is exactly like this. So do not say why didn't the person use maybe the present continuous tense. Don't worry. Here is not about the past continuous tense. Here we say that you make your requests. You make your requests more polite. More polite. Look at this. I was hoping that you could help me. Do not get confused if you hear someone say that. We say that your request is polite. I was thinking that you might want to buy this. I was thinking that you might want to buy this. We say that your suggestion or idea, you make your suggestion or idea in a polite way. So the suggestion or the idea is in a polite way. So the past continuous tense is not just about an ongoing activity in the past. You clearly have seen here the examples are not about an ongoing activity in the past, but like you see the first one, more polite request, a suggestion or an idea in a polite way. Good. Let's move to the last examples. You remember that this is an example of a stative verb, know. Own, you remember that? believe, O, have, possession. So do not say, I was knowing him. You say, I knew him. This is correct, but not I was knowing him. She was believing me. No, you say, she believed me. He was owning a house. No, he owned a house. They were owing me 50 naira. No, you say, they owed me 50 naira. We were having a house. No, you say, we had a house. So you should remember that. So that's it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understood it. And I say, until next time.